Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing another weekend recap, and I probably won't do one of these every week, but there were a couple small things going on this weekend, so I wanted to mention those, as well as some slightly non-Rangers related things that they were sort of involved in. I won't really cover things like that often because it just doesn't have to do with them really, but getting straight into it, we got confirmation on Brad Miller's deal, and it was $10 million over the 2 years. It's a 2-year, $10 million deal plus $500,000 in incentives, and I think that's a decent deal. The way John Heyman phrased his tweet, I originally thought it was $10 million a year, which a lot of people also did. So he's going to be a great platoon guy for them. Did great with the Phillies, and you don't always have to make the most flashy pickups. I think the Rangers proved that they can do those flashy pickups by getting Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, dropping $500 million in commitments this offseason. So great deal there. And then the other deal that they just recently made was Matt Carpenter to a minor league deal. He will likely make the team, but he is also an outfielder, I believe. So we'll give him another option out there if he makes the team, which, once again, I assume he does. So that's a pretty solid signing. He's from the Fort Worth area, I believe. And before I get into some of the more fun topics here, I do also want to mention Carlos Correa to the Twins, which is very interesting. He got 3 years, $105.3 million specifically because he wanted to be the highest paid infielder by AAV, and that would put him at $35.1 million a year, which would put him at the top. I forgot who is at the same level as him, but regardless, very strange deal because it has 2 opt-outs in it in 3 years. So to me, if I were the Twins, that tells me he doesn't want to be on the Twins. He just wants to use them for a year and then go sign with the Yankees or something, which he should have just done a 1-year deal. But I am not going to act like I'm going to defend Carlos Correa in any way. If he wants to mess around with this stupid deal, that's his prerogative. And he is still making $35 million a year, so, can't really knock the guy. But anyway, that's not Rangers news. The more or less Rangers news is Trevor Story ended up signing with the Red Sox today for 6 years, $140 million, I believe it was. And the Rangers were very interested in getting him, but not on that kind of money because he'd have to change from his native position at short. Although it also doesn't make sense for the Red Sox because they have Xander Bogaerts, if I'm not mistaken. So kind of sucks that Texas didn't get him, but I fully understand it because they did not want to commit for 6 years to have a guy not play his default position. I originally heard, stuff would be around 3 years or so, which 3 years would be fine, but unfortunately they won't get Story. They didn't get Story, and they're just going to probably be done with big moves or any moves at this point. So looking ahead to the season there, that will be exciting. And that's it for the news, but there were some interesting appearances at spring training today. This was Adrian Beltre's been there over the past 2 days now, I think, as an instructor, but he's looking pretty good on that play, and that's his son, AJ, who also looks pretty good at third, so, must run in the family there. I mean, Beltre still looks like he could play, and this was a funny moment. Beltre walked up to the plate with a bat and a helmet, just passing long enough for people to start getting hyped, and then he walked over to the opposite dugout. So that's just a nice little classic Beltre move right there. I mean, the man's itching for some baseball. I would be shocked if he came back because I'm sure he's more than happy in retirement, but that's just funny. And he definitely got some people with that one. And lastly, another former Ranger, Michael Young, also arrived in camp today. He's a team special assistant and also went in uniform. So it's cool to see some of these guys back out there. I mean, Beltre is looking pretty prime as usual. So that's about it for this video. Let me know y'all's thoughts on the Brad Miller deal, the Matt Carpenter deal, if you wanted us to get Story or not, things of that nature. And would you want to see an Adrian Beltre come back? I would say yes. I don't think he has any plans to, but if he's playing like that, put him at DH, maybe put him at third here and there until Young gets back. Who knows? We'll see if there's any substance to that, but that's all speculation. So anyway, thanks for watching, y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later.